Octopath Traveler was released back in 2018, it showcased what the new concept of HD 2D could truly do, utilising tried and true 16-bit sprite work with modern day level design and effects. It worked so well it became a viable alternative for remakes. They have already confirmed a remake of Dragon Quest III using the engine, but more surprisingly, a remake of Live Alive. It just begs the question what they'll be remaking next, and I already have a top 10 list made for that. Originally released on the Super Famicom in 1994, Live Alive was going to receive an English localization, but like a lot of Square's layout work on the SNES, it stayed Japanese only. A fan translation was released in 2008 by respected translator group Aeon Genesis, with the people who played it holding the game in high regard, including one Toby Fox citing it as one of his biggest influences for Undertale. Live Alive sets itself apart from other JRPGs at the time as it's actually 7 smaller stories in one. From the title screen, you select from one of several characters from numerous time periods, stretching all the way back to the prehistoric era to the depths of space in the distant future. Each character offers a different aspect with gameplay, and you can choose to experience them in any order you want. Best of all, in this new version, you can leave and resume each of the stories as you please. A lot of work has been made to stay true to the original design and flow. While appearing as sprites, the way the characters move is more fluid than was ever possible back on the Super Famicom. The added effects also allow the game to shine more than what was ever possible back then too. You have the present era chapter playing as an aspiring fighter as he goes through a tournament of challenges including sumo, an old kung fu master, and my personal favourite, copyright infringements. The prehistoric chapter has no voice work to speak of, instead conveying all narrative in symbols. Speaking of voice work, the game offers both English and Japanese, and while there is nothing inherently wrong with the dub, like with anime, I much prefer the original. Not every story is treated equally though. Some can last a few hours, or other chapters lasted only half an hour. Although the distant future chapter lasts as long as it does because you're just wandering from room to room. What stands out the most with Live Alive is its battle system. Unlike the standard turn-based mechanic, it instead has a 7x7 grid that is more aligned to a tactics game, with attacks only having a certain range to work with. While certainly a change of pace, I found the system difficult to work with back in the original, and there wasn't enough information to properly strategize. Thankfully, the remake does have some decent quality of life enhancements that help with exploration with a radar system highlighting where to go next, stats with combat that help plan attacks, as well as an autosave feature that prevents you from losing an hour's worth of progress like I did with the original. While Live Alive wouldn't have been the first game I would have picked to get the HD 2D treatment, I am certainly glad to see this underappreciated gem finally get the respect it deserves. While full 3D remakes certainly have their place, some games are just better conveyed in that old school art style, and Live Alive is no exception.